the crisis of spirit revelation, the error of human coverings. Today, there is much erroneous teaching of man compromise the authority or a covering for believers. The Apostle Paul shatters that idea by saying that when he needed to know Christ, he did not talk to the brethren around him. This is essential in the time of this crisis. You must shut off any and all, even those who may know God in a special way, as being your source of knowledge. In this crisis, you come to the true source of knowledge, the Holy Spirit, who is the teacher. In this crisis, you see that there is a knowledge that man cannot bring. Paul also said that the gospel which was preached of me is not after man, for neither received it of man, neither was I taught, but by the revelation of Jesus Christ. The very significance of these words is that no man can teach you Christ. Paul is compatible in all of his teaching that his gospel comprised the true truth of the revelation. The revelation is not of the church. The church is the amalgamated group of those who have had revelation. The revelation is not of ministries. Men are quick to set up positions of apostle, prophets, pastors, teachers, and evangelists, and many of them say that they have received a revelation of ministries. This is contrary to Paul's revelation, for the revelation is not of man or things, nor of things to come. The revelation is of person. The revelation is of Christ and Christ only as the life of the believer. Preaching Christ is not preaching about him. Third, the Apostle Paul defines this revelation he has received as the centerpiece of preaching. In these last days, the true gospel is not being preached for two reasons. One reason why many do know the true gospel is that they do not have the revelation of Jesus Christ. I learned long ago, teaching preacher boys in college and seminary, that they did not understand what it meant to preach Christ. The general idea of preaching Christ was to preach about Him and to know nothing but Christ and the things that Jesus did in our effort to do the same. This, of course, is not preaching Christ at all. Preaching Christ is preaching Him and Him only. He is life, not as a doer, but as the beer in us. The other reason is that the true gospel is not preached but promoted. Men promote the things of God instead of preaching Christ. They preach that Jesus can save, which is a promotion unless they tell men that Christ will come by a birthing and be their only life. Men preach that Jesus can heal today, but until they show that the healer is in every believer, coming forth from that believer, and he is not somewhere outside of them, so that by man's help they must find Christ, it is but a promotion. Men preach that Christ is a miracle worker, and if believers do something, they will have their miracle. This is not the true preaching of the gospel, but another promotion. Miracles are not just something God does for believers, but something that works out of the believer as the Christ life in ordinary, spontaneous, everyday living. Men preach about the Church of Jesus Christ, but it becomes a promotion because they do not tell the believer that the body or church is Christ and it takes only two or three believers to constitute this body. Men preach that believers ought to be holy and stand righteous before God. But most often, this is a promotion to get men to do what they want them to do. Revelation knowledge says that the believer cannot be any more holy or any more righteous than he already is by the birthing of Christ in him. His ways, his character, and his works might express Christ more, but his stand before God is not contingent on that expression. On and on the illustrations could go. To God be the glory. God bless you.